Hi friends, once again welcome back to the Prothoughts podcast channel. In this channel, we ensure that all your tough questions, relatively tough questions and easy questions and the doubts on your PMP preparation for the examination are solved. So once again, a new series of questions, and this time it's going to be supplementary, which means mixture of all the knowledge areas possible in the project management body of knowledge. Now, let's crack, and here is the question on screen. First one, the project team is discussing the benefits and drawbacks of working on the projects within their organization now that it has become a project oriented. So see, it's asking the organization has gone project oriented. You know what I mean. They can agree on many advantages for the team and for the organization, but also agree there are some drawbacks relative to the strong matrix structure the organization used to have. In the project oriented organization, the project team. So this is asking you a definition of or a meaning of the projectized structure within the boundaries of the 4 different org structures that you know of, right? First option. The project team reports to many managers. Do you think of like me? Yes, absolutely. Of course not, right? Projectize many managers are out. So remove that option. Has no loyalty to the project. Projectized team always will have a loyalty to the project. Option C, reports to the functional manager. Of course not. The team reports to the project manager. And option D, will not always have a home. Yes, that's the right answer. Straightforward. Why? It's a projectized organization. So once the project is completed, the team really need to fend for their own stuff. Right? Unless they have already been pre-selected for another project altogether. So that was the easy one. Great. Let's crack second one. And here is on your screen. The project manager is trying to complete a software development project but cannot get enough attention for the project. From whom? Must be for the team, right? Resources are focused on completing process-related work. Understand this. This is a key word. Process-related work. And the project manager has a little authority to assign resources. That's another keyword. 2 keywords here, right? One is the process-related work. Second is a little authority. What form of the organization must the project manager be working on? Or working in, sorry. 4 options. Functional, matrix, expeditor, and coordinator. If you are well prepared, you know the difference between expeditor and coordinator, right? Coordinator has a little bit of a bigger role in the coordination of the project. Expeditor just expedites. Now, if I may say that a project manager is trying to complete a software project but cannot get enough resources or cannot get enough attention from the resources. They are focused on process related work. Point number 1. Whenever it comes to process related work, do you think the processes are run within the operations purview? Absolutely. Those who have an experience of operations would know. Those who don't worry too much. Process related work is going to be the operational related work. And the synonym for the operation related work here is nothing but the functional org structure, straightforward. So without looking back, the straightforward answer could be a functional org structure. Why not other 3? A very quick one. Matrix organization. There is no mention of the dual reporting or the multiple hierarchies, etc. for the team at all mentioned here. Why not projectized? There is no option called projectized. So those who are thinking about projectized, there is nothing called projectized also. Why not expeditor or coordinator? Because both of them related somewhere to the project, which is there is no mention of it. So the right answer is the functional org structure. I hope that's going good. Great. Let's jump to the next one. Ready to crack third one? Okay, here is the third one on your screen. You are the managing the project to develop an online course in teaching English as a second language. The project charter includes a requirement that the course include complex interactive games like the courses offered by your competitors. Since your organization's current learning management system, the LMS in your language, will not support these features, one team member is researching about a new learning platforms while the others start the work on course outline and learning goals. What kind of project is this? A beautiful question. When I read the question with you, and I'm just trying to see what kind of options we might have. Difficult to estimate the options, but let's see if we can make some sense out of the good options available here. So option A, this is a hybrid project since the team members need to both adopt a new technology and deliver a new product. I'll repeat so that you can either park it in the parking bay area or eliminate that option. Repeat again. This is a hybrid project, underline it. Since the team members need to both adopt a new technology and deliver a new product. How can be both new and still be hybrid? Hybrid is a combination of something which is the existing method, predictive, which can be predicted, and adaptive, right? If I was you, I would eliminate for a while from my mind. I will not even park it. Second option. This is a change-driven project. Okay. Since the technology and the product scope are emerging as the work being done, fairly good option. I'll put it in a parking lot. Third option. This is a hybrid project since the team already knows how to build an online course and only the technology will be new. May not be, there is nothing mentioned. The team already knows how to build even if the team knows how to build the online course, probably something is different as well, right? The platforms can be different. A new LMS features would be different, probably. So I would rather try to eliminate this option also. Last point or a last option. This is a change-driven project, which is okay. Since the organization must change their approach to keep up with their competition. Guys, in this last option, even if you are puzzled, right, would organization need to change their approach altogether to keep up with their competition? Two things. One, only for this particular LMS development or redevelopment, or the another keyword used must. Please understand this kind of words, must, never, etc., which forcefully try you to answer. Please be careful about that, right, before you select them. I would rather, if I have to select between B and D, I would opt for B. Let's read the option again. This is a change-driven project, which is true. What change is being brought? The current LMS system doesn't have the features, right? So we need to redevelop the LMS. You never know, the platform could be new. So this is a change-driven project, right? And the product scope and the technology both are emerging. I think that makes sense also. We will reread the question once again so that this either B or D option laments the final answer. You are managing a project to develop an online course in teaching English as a second language. The project charter includes a requirement that course include complex interactive games. Complex interactive games, like the courses offered by your competitors. Since your organization's current learning system will not support these features, it's saying will not, it's not may not, will not support the features. One team member is researching new learning platforms while the other starts working on the course outline. Now, it's researching, which means it's for sure that both the technology as well as the scope, both are evolving, and which exactly maps to your statement B, than the statement D. So if your statement B or option B is talking about this change-driven approach since the technology and product scope are emerging, it's a perfect match. So no better match than this. That's the reason I would probably go with B. If you thought that this is a difficult question, actually speaking, it is not that difficult. It's just a common sense approach, provided you have done enough reading of Rita, right? I hope you're still with me. The next challenge coming up on your screen here. Be with me. Two project managers have just realized that they are in a weak matrix organization and that power as a project managers is quite limited, which I'm sure you agree with the statement if you're well prepared. One figures out that he is really a project expeditor and the other realizes she is really a project coordinator. You remember we spoke about this couple of words in the previous questions. How is the project expeditor different from a project coordinator? This is a very basic question. For those who have read through Rita very well, you would know the difference for sure. This is a definition primarily. Those who have not properly thoroughly studied, for you it can be puzzling options as well. Who's expeditor? Who's coordinator? We have heard about the functional manager, the PMO, project manager, expeditor, coordinator. Let's see what it is. Option A. The project expeditor cannot make decisions. Option B. The project expeditor can make more decisions. See the subjectivity. Option C. The project expeditor reports to a higher level manager. And option D. The project expeditor has some authority. What do you think? Those who have quite been aware of this, for them it's straightforward, right? The project expeditor, as I also mentioned in one of the previous questions, has either low or no authority, right? So my options here, the project expeditor cannot make decisions. I think that might be true. So don't remove it, don't park it, don't eliminate, park it in a parking bay. The project expeditor can make more decisions. No, that's not true. That's a relative as well. Relative to what? So there is no objectivity, there is a subjective point. So I'll remove the option. Option 3, the project expeditor reports to a higher level manager. Not necessarily always. Yeah, quite possible expeditor may report to the either project manager or a functional manager depending on the type of the organization structure. Possible. But here say that reports to higher level manager may not be, right? Option D, the project expeditor has some authority. Again, a kind of a subjective question. When you say some, what is the matrix of measurement for the sum? So I would have D eliminated. I would make B eliminated here. So between A and C. Since we already said that C cannot be an option, the only choice left is A, and which is pretty true, right? I'm sure you have read in a Rita Mulcahy's book that the project expeditor has either low or no authority to make decisions than the coordinator. Coordinator is higherly placed than the expeditor in organization. So I'll go with answer A. I hope you're still with me. The next challenge for you. You want to take one? Here you go. The question number 8. A project manager's primary responsibility is to deliver the product of the project within project constraints. We all know that. Actions taken and changes made to the benefit of one constraint could negatively affect another. Which of the following best describes the major constraint of the project? Best meaning choose only one, and that's the best one. Option 1, scope, number of resources and the cost. Option 2, Scope, schedule and the cost. Option 3, scope, schedule, cost, quality, risk and customer satisfaction. And option 4, schedule, cost and number of changes. Now, guys, what are you thinking? Extremely easy question for those who are very, very well prepared. Project constraints meaning limitations in the project. Erstwhile, we had primarily 3 limitations since 1969 onwards, right? Since the modern days of the project management have gone through. So, the CST model, the cost, scope, time model was the triple bottom line or a triple project constraint that we all know of. However, if you look at the definition of the project constraints, it has also moved 3 more variables and got added to the definition of the constraints, which are nothing but your risk, resources and customer satisfaction, isn't it? I think it's a very simple given option. So if you are still hooked up to the CST, that's cost, scope and time, this will not work. Even in real life scenario, guys, please understand this, right? Risk, a constraint or limitation. Resources, obviously a constraint and limitation. We do not have sufficient resources, always the case. And customer satisfaction, of course, a constraint to be achieved, correct? So I hope this was an easy one. Next one, let's look at it here. The question number 9 coming up here on the screen. I hope you're still with me. Question 9. Your corporate compliance office has just issued a new requirement that a complex security checklist must be submitted. See the keyword must be, before the release of every high criticality product. Since this form wasn't originally required, a new change, you didn't make any plans for completing it possible. You wouldn't have been even dreamt about this in your wildest of your dreams, right? Your release date is approaching as per the schedule, baseline must be, and the checklist is due soon. What should you do? A great question. Let's see the option and then probably discuss about this. Option A, ensure that the checklist is filled out accurately and submitted on time. Not a bad option, a very ideal scenario to have. So park it as a parking lot item. Option B, delegate the task of completing and submitting the checklist to the business analyst for your project. BA? Why only BA? Okay, let's park for a while. Complete the checklist yourself based on historical records. I don't think that would be a good option at all. You yourself are not the best expert always to fulfill this checklist, right? You must look at some kind of SMEs or experienced people in that respective field who will help you. So I think the C is eliminated. And D, ask the PMO to complete the checklist. PMO is not an expert as well, just like you as a PM, right? So very similar to C, I would eliminate D also. Specifics, either you or the PMO. No, we do not have that kind of an expertise. So between A and B then, let's read it again. Ensure that the checklist is filled out accurately and submitted on time. Delegate the task of completing and submitting checklist to the business analyst for your project. Business analyst, something which we want to do, absolutely, but we are not too sure whether the BA only will be able to do the job. It is your due diligence to ensure that you find out a right person with the right match, with the right skill sets, and give that or delegate this particular task. So not only B cannot be an answer only because it's mentioned a BA as a specific role, which may not be. So then the answer, ideal answer as I said, would be A. That means ensure that the checklist is filled out completely, accurately and submitted on time, which means your due responsibility as a project manager to fulfill all compliance needs by hook or by crook. You got to figure out this, who can do the best. This was a good question. I'm sure you enjoyed with me, just like how I enjoyed with you, right? Okay, move to the next question, and here is on your screen question number 10. Your project involves redesigning an online training portal in order to enhance the learner's experience. The project performance will be measured based on customer feedback surveys. The redesign is being delivered incrementally. Mark this particular keyword. It's being delivered incrementally over the multiple releases. So that means delivery happening incrementally over each of the release. What will be the best way to measure the business value? It's asking for the business value delivered over the course of the project. Over the course, not at end of the project. Mark this particular thought process also. Let's see the options. Option A. Once all the releases are completed, here itself, in fact, before even you move into option, we are not talking about all releases. We are talking about incremental delivery per release, right? So I mentally eliminate, but I still need to read the question, no choice. So I'll read the question. Once all the releases are completed, compare pre-project revenue to post-project revenue. How is it dealt with revenue? Guys, it's just with the business value. Business value may not be always the revenue, right? You rate business value, have got the 6 parameters. One of them could be revenue. So option A eliminated outright. Option B, divide the expected improved satisfaction by the number of releases and monitor whether each release deliver its share of the improvement. Nothing is mentioned of this sort, isn't it? We are not talking about the expected improvement satisfaction to be divided by number of release. If you do that, what will happen? You are assuming that you are giving the same features, which for the same complexities. The across releases, your features may not remain the same. Your features might be different with a different complexity and hence different time taken to do it, right? So I would probably, personally also, I would eliminate this option for now. So A and B gone. C, analyze the customer satisfaction improvement, okay, after all the releases have been delivered. And D, analyze the customer feedback after each release, comparing the results to the predefined targets. Which is better? Obviously D, right? Because we are not talking about at end of the project or at end of the final release. No, not at all. We are measuring customer satisfaction or customer feedback. We are measuring on each of the release. So the right option or the answer is D for you here. Straightforward. I hope you're still in the game with me. This was relatively easy one for you. Hope for the best. We go to the next one and the next challenge up on your screen here. And the question number 11 on your screen. If a project manager is concerned with gathering, integrating and disseminating the outputs of all project management processes, I'll repeat. If the project manager is concerned with gathering, integrating and disseminating the outputs of all the project management processes, she should concentrate on improving 1. WBS, work breakdown structure. 2. Communication management plan. 3rd, project management information system. 4th, scope management plan. What do you think, guys? I'll read the question again. The project manager is concerned with gathering, integrating and disseminating the outputs of all the project management processes. Here, the point is the scope management and the WBS. This is something part of the project scope. The communication plan will be, it's like who communicates with whom, what is communicated, how frequently it's communicated, right? And how is it communicated? It's all about that. The only choice that address the gathering, integrating and disseminating is nothing but your internal tool or external tool, which is your PMIS, which will make it possible to do all these three. Gather the information, integrate from the different knowledge areas and disseminate to the people in the way they want. So I think the right answer was PMI is here. Was easy one? Hope you're still in the game and enjoying the show. So, I think we spoke about 11 questions in this particular podcast. I hope you're liking the podcast, and if you are still on, I would probably come back with another challenging series of questions on a different topic or different theme. Till the time, enjoy, relax, and sit back and look up for the next podcast from me. Thank you so much. Your host Saurabh. Bye for now.